Hello and welcome to our Microsoft Teams Deep Dive course. My name is Mo Jones and I'm glad to guide you through this course of Microsoft Teams today. We'll take a look at exactly what Microsoft Teams is, and we'll take a look at some of the features that will benefit you, your team, and even your organization as well. This is interactive, so be ready to pause the video and practice. And if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. If you're looking to earn certificates and watch videos without ads, sign up for Learnit Anytime, which is our dedicated online training subscription service. Check the link in the description for more information. If you have any questions you want answered by one of our instructors, please join our offsite community. The link is in the description as well. As always, if this course has exercise files, you'll find them in the video description below. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look at our learning outcomes for today. Notice that we do have 3 primary learning outcomes. Now, keep in mind that we do have several topics that we'll be covering today, and they will fall under one of these 3 learning outcomes as well. We're going to set up a team, and we'll take a look at the difference between a public and a private team. And once that team is created, we'll see how we can integrate Office 365 tools such as SharePoint, Microsoft Planner, and OneNote as well. After we create our team, we'll go ahead and schedule a Teams meeting, and we'll take a look at various options such as setting up the lobby, who can enter, and choosing a presenter, and some other sought after features as well. And then we'll talk about just being able to collaborate in a channel-based workspace as opposed to an Outlook inbox. And this is where all of the work gets done. When a channel is created, this is where all the collaboration takes place. So who should attend? This is for content managers, information managers, project managers, supervisors, business analysts, and anyone who works in a team environment. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back. Well, before we start talking about what Microsoft Teams is, what the purpose is, and how it can benefit you, let's take a look at the current challenges that we face when we're communicating with our team. Now, we communicate in various ways. We can communicate using email. We can pick up the phone and contact our team member or someone within our organization. We can use various apps to conduct a video call. We can use various apps to conduct a chat as well. And maybe we have a cloud-based service that we can use to access our files and be able to share and collaborate our files as well. So this is okay, we can get work done, but as we can see, the challenge is that we're using several different platforms here. Maybe we're using one platform for email and video call, but then we're using another platform for phone. We're using another platform to conduct a chat. And maybe we're using several platforms for our cloud-based file services there as well. And so there has to be a way that we can just use one app to accomplish all of these communication strategies here so that we can save time and work more efficiently here as well. And that's where Microsoft Teams comes in. Think of Teams as a one-stop shop for communication and collaboration. It's very common that we see a lot of people that are using Microsoft Teams a lot more and using Outlook less. Because imagine being able to use one app to send a quick email, and within that same thread, you can conduct a quick chat with your team or an individual. You can start a quick video conference based on that team that you created. You can drop in different files from your cloud-based service right into that team where you can open it, you can edit it, and you can have collaboration on that as well. No need to pick up a phone. You can go ahead and use the phone service that's integrated into Microsoft Teams, and you can make a quick phone call. You can also access your calendar and schedule meetings and manage your meetings as well. And so this is what Microsoft Teams is for. It's a one-stop shop for communication and collaboration, and it's going to make your communication a lot more efficient. So with that understanding, let's go ahead and open up Microsoft Teams. we'll take a look at the basic interface and we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome back. I did launch my Microsoft Teams application. While we're here, let's have a brief overview of the interface. So if we take a look on the left, we see our navigation pane here, where we can view our activity feed, our chat feed, our Teams feed, calendar, calls, files, and any other apps that you may have pinned here or connected. We also have our search bar, which doubles as a command bar. We can drop in some powerful commands by typing in the /. And finally, over here on the right, we have our profile area, where we can make some changes to our account or view our account status. And we also have a menu right here that allows us to apply some universal changes to our Microsoft Teams application. I'm going to go ahead and click on this menu. And for those of us who like to navigate applications via shortcuts, well, we do have the complete mapping of the keyboard shortcuts right here under the settings menu. We can show all these keyboard shortcuts. And as you can see, it's pretty exhaustive here. So we have some general shortcuts that we can use. We have some navigation shortcuts. We have shortcuts that relates to messaging. And if I were to scroll down, I can see that we also have some that are applicable to meetings. And so, for example, when you're in a meeting, to raise or lower your hand, you can press Control, Shift, and K. That will raise or lower your hand. I'm currently on my activity tab here. And what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and type some numbers here. Just to keep it simple, I'll just type 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And what you'll notice is that our activity feed that's at the top here, that's linked to this number 1. So if I press Control 1, that will send me to my activity feed. My chat feed is in position 2. If I press Control 2, that will open up my chat feed. And for my Teams, if I press Control +3, that's going to go ahead and open up my Teams feed there as well. And so we can make use of these shortcuts so that we can quickly navigate this interface. So as you can see, in pressing Control +2, that brings me to my chat feed. And if I were to go ahead and press Control +3, that will go ahead and bring me to my Teams feed. I'll go ahead and do that. So here's my Teams feed. And I do want to point out as well, if we were to bring this back up here to keyboard shortcuts, there's actually a shortcut to actually bring up these shortcuts. And right here, to show the keyboard shortcuts, we can just press Control plus the period. That will bring up all of those shortcuts for us. So a really nice way to just be able to navigate this interface here as well. Another useful feature under the settings menu here is actually adjusting the zoom control. And so if I just increase the zoom, notice how it's zooming all of the things that are visible on my screen at the moment for my app. So I can go ahead and zoom in further. Right now I'm at 145%. So this is very useful. You can make it, maybe some of the text is too small or maybe some of the text is too large. In that case, you can zoom out even further, like so. Okay, so right now I'm at 85%. I think 100% works pretty well for me. So I'll go ahead and use that. There are also keyboard shortcuts for zooming. And so here's the zooming. So to zoom out, Control plus the minus sign. Zoom in, Control plus equal. And to reset the zoom level, Control +0. That will take care of that for you as well. And so this just kind of helps you to move around and have the visual appeal that you're looking for that's comfortable for you. Another thing that we can do is we can go ahead and add some apps depending on the way that your organization is set up. As you can see, I have a Viva Insights app here, but we do have access to other apps by clicking on the menu that's right here. I'll go ahead and click on there. And it brings up some apps for you. You can either search for an app that you're looking for, or you can scroll through the menu of the existing apps that are in focus. If you want access to more apps, you can actually go ahead and click on more apps here. And this brings up a really big community of apps here. And as you can see, Microsoft is growing very big here. Okay. So what I want to do at this point, I want to go ahead, maybe I want to go ahead and grab this wiki app here. I want to add that to my navigation pane. So this is called pinning. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and right click on it on here, and I'm going to go ahead and pin that app here. And so now here is my wiki. If I click on here, it's just waiting for me to enter some information. Okay. And there you go. Right? So that's how we can search for apps and pin them as well. So go ahead and pause this video. Go ahead and practice using the shortcut keys to move around in the different areas of your Teams interface here. And go ahead and add an app and pin that app to your navigation pane and come right back. Welcome back. Now let's talk about planning and creating a team. So currently I'm on my Teams feed here, and on the bottom, what I want to do is go ahead and click on join or create a team. Now, when we're planning to create a team, there's a few things that we want to take into consideration, such as what should the name of the team be? What are the goals for this team? Who should be a part of this team? And what do we want to accomplish within this team? And maybe even what are some of the permissions as well? And finally, maybe we want to ask, should this be a private team or should we make it available to the public as well? What we'll find is that Microsoft has created a dialog under the create a team so that we're kind of asked these questions along the way. And so it gives us the opportunity to kind of create our team while planning it at the same time. I'll go ahead and click on join or create a team. And here you see, I can go ahead and create a team. I want to point out, you can also join a team with a code. And we can actually join one of these public teams here that are within our organization. So because these have the public designation, we're able to join them because we're a part of this organization here. I'm going to go ahead and click on create a team. And when you're planning, one of the things you want to ask yourself is, well, do you want to create a team from scratch? Or do you want to kind of use an existing template? Some really nice templates out here that can help you to accomplish your goal. One of the things that we can do is create a team from a group, from an existing group or an existing team. So maybe you see a team that's working well and you want to go ahead and create it from that. That's perfectly fine. Here we have our templates. Here is a project management template that we can use. And we just need to go ahead and add our members and make some changes there as well. But a lot of the features will be already there for us. Onboarding employees is becoming very popular. Organizing your help desk. And if we just kind of scroll down, go all the way down to managing volunteers, quality and safety as well. So maybe none of these are doing it for you. We can go ahead and we can start from scratch with some help from Microsoft. So at this point, we have to make a decision here. Do we want our team to be a private team or a public team? If our team is private, people will need permission to join. So we would need to specifically send them an invitation so that they can actually join the team. If it's public, then anyone inside of our organization can join. As we can see here, we have some public teams here, and I can join them because they have the public designation. And I'm a part of the organization, so I can go ahead and join one of these teams here without asking for permission. But what I want to do, I want to go ahead and create a private team because I just want a few people to be a part of this team here. We have some very specific tasks that we want to accomplish. And so I just need to go ahead and give this team a name. I'll just call this planning. And if we want to, we can go ahead and provide a description. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so planning, and it will be for learning courses. Go ahead and create that. It takes a few seconds here. It says nice work. And at this point, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and add my guests here, or my members. And notice we can start typing a distribution list or a security group, or we can add people from outside our organization as well. So depending on how your IT department has your network set up, we can enter a distribution list or a security group, individual emails, We can also go ahead and invite people outside of the organization. They will have the guest designation though, which means that they will have limited capabilities and rights when they're added to the group. So I'll go ahead and I'll just enter some fictitious emails here. And what you'll see is that it analyzes the email. It recognizes that it's not a part of my organization. And so it assigns the guest designation. Okay. And a little later on, we can go in and take a look at some of the guest designation here as well. I'll go ahead and add another one. So I'll go ahead and click on add. We can also skip this step and come back to it later. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and add this one as well. And once that's done, I can just go ahead and click on close. And welcome to the team. And again, as you will notice, we're getting some help along the way here. At this point, we can go ahead and add more people if we want to. We can go ahead and create more channels, or we can open the FAQ. We've already added some people here. The channels, what this is referring to is if you take a look over here on the left side, here is that team that I just created. It comes with a channel called General. I notice this General tab, we cannot edit it. It's by default, it will say General. And what we can do, we can go ahead and create another channel that will appear right underneath General. And this is where all the creative work will be taking place, all the collaboration here as well. And so what I want to do at this point is I want to go ahead and click on the menu for more options for planning. And I'll take a look at this menu here. I can go ahead and manage the team from here. I can add a channel, add a member. I can leave the team if I want to. I can go ahead and make some edits to the team. I can get a link to the team here as well. Or I can manage the tags and I can go ahead and delete the team. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and talk about just editing the team and taking a look at the management features. But before we do that, what I want you to do, go ahead and create a team. Assign it either the public or private designation, add a few people, and come right back. Now that we've created our team, we can go ahead and take a look at the More Options menu here for our newly created team. Maybe we want to go ahead and make some simple edits, such as maybe changing the name of the team, updating the description, and maybe even changing it from private to public. I'll go ahead and click on More Options here, and I'll go down to where it says Edit Team. And notice from here, I can change the team name. I can update the description of the team. And maybe I changed my mind. Maybe instead of having it private, I want to make it public so that anyone inside of my organization can join. So I'll just make some simple edits here. I'll change this to Planning Team. And for my description, I'll just say Learning Courses for. I'll leave it at private for the moment. I'll go ahead and click Done. It's going to save my changes. And once I have this updated, the next reasonable thing to do is to get a link here. So I'll go ahead and click on More Options. And towards the bottom, I'll click on where it says Get Link to this team. So from here, we get a link. I can go ahead and copy this link here. And so now I can either start a new chat by entering a recipient's name in the search bar here, or I can just open up a new chat if I want to. I can drop in a tag. Maybe I've created a tag for people. Either way, I can post that link in the chat so that my members to be will have the opportunity to click on that link to join this team. I can also send an email and they'll be able to receive an invitation for this as well. So go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and make some simple edits to this team that you just created and make a decision whether you want it to be public or whether you want it to be private. And go ahead and share that link out. Just make sure that someone can join your team and come right back. Welcome back. Well, now that we've shared our team, we've made some simple edits. It's a good idea to go ahead and click on the More Options here. And let's go ahead and manage our team. And it's a good idea to take a look at the current members here and to also take a look at the settings. that we can apply to this team. So notice currently I'm on the members tab here, and I can take a look at all of my members and guests. Notice I do have 4 guests here, and they do have the guest designation in terms of a role. Notice I cannot change this role. I can simply remove the person, but I cannot change their role. So I am the current owner. And so if I were to click on my drop down here, so I can toggle between owner or member. It's a good idea to have at least 2 owners for a team. So at this point, what you should do is go ahead and click on add a member. And then once they're populated in, as long as they're within your organization, they'll show up as a member. You can go ahead and apply the owner designation here as well. And this way, if something happens, you have a backup, another person that can help you to actually manage the team here as well. I'll jump over to where it says settings here. And what's really nice is that there's a lot of different layers of security here that you can apply to your team setting. Let's talk about guest permissions first. So if I click on my guest permissions, notice by default, guests are not allowed to create and update channels, and they cannot delete channels. Well, in this demo, I want to go ahead and allow them to do that. So I'll go ahead and accept this designation here. And so if you're dealing with guests and you want them to have a little more control, at least have them be able to create and update channels. And let's take a look at some of the member permissions. I'll collapse the guest permissions here. And we have a much longer list here for the member permissions. And these are decisions that you need to make. Talk with your team, maybe your co-owner, and figure out what it is that you want your members to be able to do. But we do have a lot of options in here, such as creating and updating channels. So by default, they can create and update channels. Maybe you do not want them to do that. You simply just want them to be able to navigate and get work done in the channels. They can create private channels here as well. We'll talk about private channels in just a little bit here. They can delete and restore channels, add apps, upload custom apps, and these are the kind of things that we really just need to be mindful of. And again, it really depends on what you want to allow. You can collaborate with your IT department. Maybe your IT department already has some protocols, set up here as well. And they can create, update, and remove tags, connectors, okay? And give members the option to delete their messages. And finally, allow message editing here as well. So again, a lot of different options here, a lot of different decisions that you need to make as well. Another option here is the @mentions, okay? So you can choose who can use the @mentions in the channels here. Now remember, an @mention will go straight to the top of your activity feed. And so if this is misused, it can be very, very unproductive. So you want to kind of make a choice here in terms of what you want your guests and your members to be able to do as well. While we're in here, it's good to note that we can also generate a team code. We can go ahead and generate a team code so that people can join directly. Now, just keep a note that guests won't be able to join with a team code. So only members within your organization will be able to join with the team code. So go ahead and pause the video, take a look at some of the member permissions, take a look at the guest permissions, and go ahead and generate a team code. And we'll do that now, actually. Go ahead and generate a team code. And here's my temporary code that I can use. At this point, I can go ahead and copy this code. And again, I can go ahead and send this out to my members to be. So go ahead and generate a code. Take a look at some of the permissions. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to dive into those permissions and you were able to generate a code for your team here as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about channels, using team channels. So here's my planning team. And if you notice, I have 2 tiers here. So here's my team. And then I have this general tab. That's kind of a default tab that we inherit when we create a team. If I click on this more options for the general channel here, notice I have a pretty short list here. Notice that I cannot edit this general channel. I cannot delete it. Okay. And so it's a good practice to go ahead and create another channel so that you can have some collaboration taking place here. Now we can add several channels. In this case, we'll go ahead and add two, one private channel and one standard channel. So I'll click on the more options here under my team. We'll go ahead and click on add a channel. And here's my dialog box here. And so I just need to go ahead and type the name. I can type a description if I want to. And then we have two choices to make, whether we want to have a standard or a private channel. And then if we want to automatically show this channel in everyone's channel list. So I'll go ahead and give this a name. This channel will be in charge of scheduling. So I'll type scheduling there. Yep, it's already taken. Okay, scheduling 2. And so here I have two options. I can make it standard so that everyone that is on this current team, for example, this planning team, will have access to this channel. Or I can click on private, where only specific members of this team will have access to this channel. I'll go ahead and I'll create the standard one first here. And then I want it to automatically show in everyone's channel list. We are receiving some help along the way, some guides here. So the standard, accessible to everyone on the team, and the private channel, accessible only to a specific group of people within the team. I'll go ahead and click add. And as you can see, my scheduling 2 channel has been created. If I click on the more options here, notice that I have more options here. So I can edit the channel if I want to. I can delete the channel. I have management capabilities within this channel here. So I'll go ahead and click on there. And so I have some basic permissions here that I can use. Okay. So channel moderation. Do I want to kind of, make sure that I approve everything before something gets posted? I can turn that on if I want to. I can designate who can start a new post, such as everyone or everyone except guests. So again, we have several layers of security here or permissions that we can use. If I go back to my more options here, the channel notifications. So here I have a few options. You can use, all activity, which are posts, replies, and mentions. They all come into your feed. Or we can turn them off where we only receive notifications for direct replies or personal mentions. I currently have a custom setup here, just based on my general settings here as well. So at this point, I want to go ahead and create another channel, and this one will be private. And we'll kind of take a look at some of the differences along the way here. So I'll go ahead and add another channel, and maybe I'll call this scheduling 3. And I'll just put this is a private. I'll go ahead and designate that this is private. And notice there's no option here to send it to everyone's feed because this is a private channel here. I'll go ahead and create that. And from here, I can go ahead and start adding my members. So who do I want to be a part of this channel? So I was able to add 2 guests there. And now notice here is my scheduling 3, and I see a small icon here. Looks like a lock, and that tells me that this is actually private. So if I click on more options here, I have the same options here that I do for my scheduling 2. But let's take a look at let's go ahead and manage this channel, and let's see what we can do here. Okay. So we do have the same here. Right, we do have some guest options here. I can take a look at my members, and I can go ahead and take a look at the settings. And so I can go ahead and take a look at the member permissions. We have a few options here for the member permissions. Just one option here for mentions here as well. So go ahead and create those 2 channels, create a standard channel, create a private channel. Just keep in mind that for the private channel, you would need to actually add the members that you want to be able to be a part of that channel here as well. And come right back and we'll move on. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to create those two channels there. I'm currently on the scheduling 2 channel that I created here. And now let's start the conversation. That's what it's saying here. Let's get the conversation started. So I'm going to go ahead and start posting here. So I'll go ahead and click on new conversation. And so notice this is our condensed chat menu here. We can click on the format icon here so we can get some more advanced features here for our message. So I'll go ahead and open that up here. And we do have a few options here. All right, so now we have some more complex options, but I want to point out we do have this option here to kind of set the message format here. So if I go ahead and click on this small icon, I can go ahead and make this an important message. And notice how it kind of adds some of the framework here for me. It's marking it as important. I can go ahead and add a subject if I want to. I can go ahead and start typing my message here as well. So in this case, maybe I just want to talk about some rules here, or maybe some guidelines. So the subject will be guidelines. And I'll just say, please read the document. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and actually attach a file. So I'll go ahead and click on my attachment icon here. Now, sometimes you will see this message. It just says we're setting up your files and getting things ready for you. Once it's ready, I have an option here. I can browse a few teams and channels for a file. I can go right to my OneDrive, or I can upload from my computer. In this case, I'll go ahead and upload from my computer. I'll go on my desktop here, and I just have this little document here for team rules. I'll go ahead and insert that right in there. So that's in there. And another thing that I can do, what if I wanted to post this in multiple channels? There is an option here. Now that I have enabled my formatting options here, I can go ahead and post in multiple channels. So if I click here, notice it's currently for scheduling 2, but I am a part of several channels here. If I click on where it says select channels, I can go ahead and drop this in here. So maybe under the general, planning, and for scheduling 2. So this is a way that you can post across several channels here. Of course, we want to be careful with this. We want to make sure that we're not overwhelming everyone here. Just make sure that it's relevant. So I'll go ahead and update that. And so here are my 3 channels that I am posting to. So at this point, I'm good to go. I'll go ahead and click on send. And as you can see, here is my message that shows up right here at the top of my feed for my scheduling 2. Let's head over to Team Mojo here. Go to planning. There it is. It also shows up here as well. Now that I have this message here, I'll go back to my scheduling 2. And we also have more options right here for our actual post. So notice here I can add one of these emojis here. But if I click on the more options here, I have some more options here. So I can save this message. So maybe this message is very important. I want to go ahead and save that. So I'll click on save. And so now I did save that message. So notice now I can unsave this message. And to view my saved messages, I can click on my avatar here and select saved, or I can type in the saved command here in my search bar, and that would show me all of my saved messages here as well. So it's a 2-step process. Go ahead and save that message, and then use either one of those 2 methods by clicking on your avatar and showing all of your saved messages, or typing the saved in the search bar with the / here. Another thing that we can do is we can turn off notifications for this message. Maybe it's going to be a very long thread, so we can turn off the notifications there as well. We can also share this to Outlook. Now, we can share this to Outlook. The only caveat is that your Outlook for web needs to be enabled. If it's not enabled, this will not work. And this is according to Microsoft. So maybe I want to go ahead and share this to Outlook. I'll go ahead and click on there. And it will take a little while. It's going to open up a kind of like a web a short web interface here for Outlook. Just a basic email box here. I can add my recipients. I can add attachments to here if I want to, and I can further modify this message. I'm going to go ahead and click on the X. I'm not going to go ahead and send that. So those are the options that you have when creating posts. Just remember, to get those additional features, just go ahead and click on the formatting options so that you can get more options to do that as well. So go ahead and start the conversation in your channel and go ahead and mark the message as important. Go ahead and spread your message across several channels. Go ahead and save that post and go ahead and reveal all of your saved posts as well. And when you're done, come right back. Now that we've created our first post, let's go ahead and take a look at the next section here of our channel. And we notice a few tabs here at the top of our page. We're currently on the Posts tab. And here we can see all of our posts that we have created. Here's our first post with our attachment. We can also take a look at files. We can also take a look at a wiki. Now the wiki will actually allow us to create our own wiki. So we do have our team rules here, but another option, instead of sending out a document, we can just kind of create our own wiki with various sections and drop in some guidelines there as well. And then we'll spend some time taking a look at the add feature here. So we can add, this allows us to integrate various services right here into our teams. And again, the whole goal is a one-stop shop. And so if we can integrate other services right here, we can get our work done as opposed to going to SharePoint or going to OneDrive or going to OneNote or even going to Microsoft Planner. So we'll take a look at how we can integrate those services right here. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at files. So notice here's that file that we posted in the chat. It's showing up in our repository here, team rules, and we can go ahead and open this up. It will open up right inside of this window for us, so we can go ahead and collaborate on it, and we can make some changes to it here as well. So a few things that we can do. Here's just our file management. We can go ahead and create a new folder. We can drop in various Microsoft applications in here as well. And so again, this is kind of like your OneDrive or your SharePoint space. You can create a structure here. You can add your folders and you can drop in various types of files and applications as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on my plus sign here to go ahead and add a tab. And as you can see, there are lots of tabs here that we can add. I have some recent tabs here that I was looking at. If we kind of scroll down, we can see just a lot of different apps here that we can add. We can also click on Manage Apps, so we can further manage our apps here. But what I want to do, I can actually search. Let's see if I search for task here. So if we integrate this task, this will connect us to our Microsoft Planner. And then we have OneNote. So here's OneNote. We can integrate OneNote right here. And so we can collaborate. We can either use an existing notebook or we can start from scratch. And then we can talk about SharePoint. And we have different SharePoint options here. And what Microsoft is telling us is that when we add one of these SharePoint sites to our Teams channel, we can do all the same things that we would do on the site outside of the Teams channel. Okay, and so this kind of makes it more efficient for us. Instead of going to our SharePoint, and this is for those of us who have a lot of content on SharePoint, instead of going to that site, as long as we are either the owner or we have permissions to that site, we can integrate it right here. And it will be just like navigating that site here as well. So I'll go ahead and click on SharePoint. We'll take a look at the options here. Now keep in mind the nature of SharePoint. So Teams is directly connected to SharePoint. Every time you create a team or a channel, on the back end, SharePoint is creating a space to host that team and or that channel. And so everything that we're doing now in this team is sending the data right to our SharePoint. And so it is connected. And so we can take advantage of that fact. We can go ahead and implement a few services here. So we do have a few options here. I'm just going to go back here and take a look at those SharePoint. Let's see here. I'll go back to SharePoint. So we do have our SharePoint here. So these are basically our lists. So if you have lists in SharePoint, we can integrate those. We have the document library that we can use. And we also have SharePoint pages that we can integrate. So it's really your choice. I'll go ahead and click on SharePoint here. And SharePoint pages, they basically allow you to share information and even things such as ideas, images, videos, and links here as well. So we do have a few layers here. So I can either use one of my existing channels here. So notice this is my planning channel that's over here. So I do have some content in here that I can use. I have some pages here, also from planning, lists, no list currently, and I have a document library here. So it's up to you. We can also do is we can connect to any SharePoint site. So if we have the link to that SharePoint site and we are the owner, and if we have access or permissions to be able to add that, we can actually drop that in right here. The last option is to post to the channel about this tab here as well. So I don't really have a lot here. Let's see if I can go ahead and drop in this. Let's see if I can drop this in here. Don't think I have anything in there. Okay, so here's just some basic data here from my planning here that I can use. Okay, so it drops it in right here as a tab. And then I have some tab options here that I can use, such as popping it out, expanding, reloading, going to the actual website, and some settings here as well. But let's go ahead and add another one here. Let's take a look at the dialog box for our other SharePoint. This time we will do, let's see, we'll go to the pages here. So I'll go ahead and type share. And let's take a look at what the pages dialog box looks like. Again, kind of the same thing here. We can go ahead and post the channel about this tab if we want to. But here it's very simple. We can use one from another team or channel that we're using, or we can go ahead and add a page from any SharePoint site. So in this case, same process, we'll type the URL, and that will actually pop that in for us here as well. I'll go back here, and we'll take a look at the last option here, which is the document library. So here's our document library. And what we'll notice under relevant sites, I have hidden this just for security purposes here, but all of the sites that we're connected to, it will actually show all of those sites. Right now, I'm on the use a SharePoint link. And so they all work the same way. You can either insert a link or you can connect to a current resource that you can actually see. And so this is just a great way to get all your work done right here inside of Teams, as opposed to going to SharePoint there as well. So I'll go ahead and click on the X here. And I'm going to go ahead and search for OneNote. OneNote is right here. I'll go ahead and click on OneNote. And kind of the same idea here. So we have a few options here for OneNote. We can paste a OneNote link. So we can do that. Or we can go ahead and create a new notebook, or I can go ahead and drop in one of my existing notebooks here as well. Okay. And that will drop it in for us. Maybe I'll just go ahead and maybe I'll drop this one in here. I'll click on save. And so here is our notebook for Excel introduction here. Okay, just very basic. Don't have too much in here. But as you can see, you have your OneNote menu here that you can use to interact with this document. And you can drop that right in here as well. We'll do one more. We'll drop in our tasks. So we can type the word tasks here. And it really connects to Microsoft Planner. So tasks make it easy to stay organized across all your planner and to-do tasks. So it kind of uses a combination of your to-do list and with your Microsoft Planner as well. So we can create a new plan, or we can use an existing plan from this team here. Now we don't really have a plan here to use because this is all new here as well. So we do have few options here. So if you're familiar with these different apps, OneNote and Tasks, it's right here. It's all here for you. But just as an example, as you can see, when you drop in one of these applications, you have the full menu where you can go ahead and make some changes and get some work done here as well. We can also collaborate. Our people on our team can actually see this document and come in and make modifications here as well. As you can see, we are syncing perfectly fine over here. So we have a lot to choose from, but in this example, we just wanted to add 3 resources: SharePoint, OneNote, and the Microsoft Planner. So go ahead and click on your Add button here to add some tabs, and go ahead and add a few tabs. Maybe it's time for you to drop in one of those applications that you use on a daily basis, and then come right back. Welcome back. Well, now that we've created a post, we've added some files, and we've added some tabs here at the top of our channel, let's go ahead and talk about scheduling a meeting. There's a few ways that we can actually schedule the meeting here. So notice I'm currently on my Scheduling To tab here. And if we take a look at the top right, we will notice that we see the Meet icon, and it has a small drop down here as well. And so I have 2 options. I can either go ahead and meet right now. And if I click on Meet right now, it's going to open up a meeting for everyone to join. And as you can see, I can go ahead and give a name to the meeting right here if I want to. I can go ahead and set up my video, my audio, and my devices as well. I'm going to hit cancel for now. The other option is to schedule a meeting. So if I click on Schedule a Meeting, it's going to open up a dialog that will allow me to actually schedule this meeting here. And so here is my meeting dialog, which I was able to go ahead and create right from my Scheduling To channel. And if you notice right here in the channel section, it has my Scheduling To channel right here. So whoever's a part of the Scheduling To will receive the invitation here for this meeting. So at this point, we just need to go ahead and fill out the basics. I'll go ahead and I'll change this date here. Maybe I'll go a little further out here, maybe May 31st. From 2 to 2:30, quick meeting here. And I'll go ahead and give it a title. I'll just call this check-in. Check-in, and we will review our projects. Can add a location if I want to. I'll leave that here. Okay. And one of the cool things here is if we take a look at the top, we have some other options here that we can use, such as the Scheduling Assistant. And so what this does, this gives you basically a sneak peek at everyone's schedule that's involved. As long as a person is a part of your organization, you will not be able to see the guest calendars here. So if I click on Scheduling Assistant, so notice I'm a part of my organization, and so it shows me, right? It shows me as available for that day. Notice the day before that, which is a holiday, it shows me as busy, so I'll not be available. So for every person that's a part of this team, it will show the actual slots here. And additionally, it will give you suggestions on the best time to meet based on everyone's availability. So the Scheduling Assistant is very, very popular. Really nice option here as well. Over here, we can turn on the response options, such as, allow forwarding or request responses. We have registration, such as none, or for people in our organization, or in this case, for everyone here as well. Maybe you want to add required attendees. We can go ahead and we can toggle this feature here. Now notice this is slightly different from just generating a regular calendar item because this is from a channel. So a lot of the features here are not available. So it's slightly different here. I'm going to go ahead and actually just close this out here. I'm not going to send it. I'm going to actually going to discard this here. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on my calendar and actually use the other method to schedule a meeting by clicking on my calendar. So I've opened up my calendar here, and I want to go ahead and add a new meeting here. And this time I'll do check-in. And here I can go ahead and add some required attendees. Notice right here I can add my channel. So I do have quite a few channels here that I'm a part of. I'll just go to the planning team. I'll go ahead and click on scheduling to. Notice that my private channel here is not showing up. And so if your private channel is not showing up, in order to schedule a meeting, just speak to your IT department. There has been some known issues with scheduling meetings with private channels. Sometimes what you will need to do is just send out, create a meeting and use each person's individual email, or maybe you created a distribution list for them as well. But in either case, go ahead and speak with your IT department. And so in this case, I can just go ahead, I can use the scheduling assistant again, and it will show me once everyone accepts the meeting. I can take a look at their schedules if they are part of my organization here as well. So I'll just finish creating this meeting here. And once we send this out, what we'll notice is when we come back to this meeting, we'll notice additional options here that will be available for us as well. So this looks pretty good. I have the check-in, I have my attendees, which are my scheduling to channel here. And I'll just type project review here. I'll go ahead and send this out. And it's taking just a little time here. I'll go back to my team. And here we go. So here's the team. As you can see on the bottom, it creates a post entry here for the actual meeting. And so now we have the opportunity to go ahead and take a look at some of the options here. But go ahead and create a meeting. You can either do it right from the channel where you can schedule a meeting, or you can go ahead and click on your calendar and just make sure to utilize the channel section where you can type the name of the channel and schedule that meeting. And come right back and we'll take a look at some of the meeting details and some of the options that we can set up as well. Welcome back. So now that we've scheduled that meeting, what we can do now we have the post entry for the meeting here. It says check-in. Give us some basic data here, the day and the time. But now I can go ahead and take a look at the meeting details. So if I click on the more icon here, I can go ahead and view the meeting details. And so this essentially just brings me back to my calendar entry. I could have also went back to my calendar entry and just clicked on that meeting as well. And notice that we have a few more tabs up here. Okay, so for example, we have a chat dialog that is created for our scheduled meeting here. And we can take a look at the attendance. And here is where we can set up our breakout rooms ahead of time as well. And so we'll take a look at some of these options here. We can also go ahead and cancel this meeting at this point if you want to. We can go ahead and copy the link to this meeting if we want to. Right now, I can go ahead and join this meeting right now. Maybe we want to meet now. We can go ahead and I can join this meeting and get things rolling here as well. But let's take a look at some other options here. So here, if we take a look at the attendance may not be ready yet because no one has really responded yet. Here's the breakout room option. And so here's where you can actually create breakout rooms and then you can manage them here as well. So we can add additional rooms, we can recreate the rooms, we can delete the rooms, and we can take a look at further settings here as well. Here is our chat dialog. So right now we can interact, we can chat. We have a chat that's dedicated just to this meeting space here and allows us to get further collaboration. So if I click on the details, here are the details again. Okay. And so the good thing to know is after you set up the meeting, after you send out your invitations, you will have more options to manage this meeting. Another useful option is the meeting options. It's a good idea to kind of get things set up before your meeting. Here we can see that we can set up the breakout rooms ahead of time, but we have some meeting options here that we can utilize. So I'll go ahead and click on this. It's going to open up the options in a web browser for me. So I'll go ahead and click on meeting options here. And as you can see, it gives me my meeting options here. And so it gives me the quick details here of my meeting, which is to check in. And over here, I can make some decisions such as who can bypass the lobby. I can always let callers bypass the lobby, yes or no. I can announce when callers join or leave, who can present. Do I want everyone's microphones turned on, cameras? Should I record the meeting automatically here as well? And should I go ahead and allow reactions? And should I go ahead and provide CART captions here as well? So these options are all available for us to go ahead and utilize. In terms of who can bypass the lobby, this is especially in this situation, it's become very, very popular to make sure that we kind of monitor who can enter the meeting here. So everyone can bypass the lobby, only people in my organization, trusted organizations and guests, people in my organization and guests, people in my organization, or only me. So I'll make it only me here. No one can bypass the lobby, right? You have to show yourself and I have to let you in. So I can turn this on to announce when callers join or leave and who can present. You have to make a decision here as well. We can assign specific people. And once the participants are here, we can actually go ahead of time and specify who can present. So in this case, I'll just say people in my organization and guests. We'll allow the microphone, we'll allow the cameras, and we can go ahead and record this automatically. We'll upload to the cloud for us. And if we want to allow reactions, we can. And if we want to assign some captions, we can do that as well. So I just need to go ahead and click save. And that will save for me, and I am done. And so all of these decisions I can make ahead of time before my meeting so that I'm not stumbling once my meeting starts to set up some of these options here as well. So at this point, go ahead and set up your meeting. We'll go back to your meeting details and make sure that you click on the meeting options and go ahead and make some of those decisions, especially who can bypass the lobby and who can present during the meeting as well. Take a look at those features and come right back. Welcome back. Well, it's a great idea to make sure that you have some of your meeting options set up before your meeting actually takes place. But let's go ahead and launch an instant meeting, and we'll take a look at some of the in-meeting options that are available. So I'm on my scheduling 2 channel here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Meet. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'll make sure that just for now, I'll keep my camera off, my audio off as well. And I'm going to go ahead and join just so we can take a look at some of the meeting options here. So notice at this point, I can go ahead and add some participants if I want to, and I can also copy the meeting link and share that out. I'm going to go ahead and close that here. And if you take a look, we do have a few options here, such as we can take a look at the participants, we can view the chat, we can raise our hand, and we have some other meeting options here that we can take a look at as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on some more actions here. And one of the things that we see right here is our meeting options. So if I click on meeting options, so maybe you kind of forgot to set these things up. Maybe you arrived a little early, you can go ahead and you can toggle these options here that we found earlier when we clicked on the meeting options for our calendar item, and we were able to see this in the web interface. So all the options are here. You can toggle these off or on as well. So these are the same options. The only difference is now that you can go ahead and apply them inside of this meeting. Now remember, this is not the meeting that we set up for May 31st. Otherwise, these options would have been toggled already. So I'll go ahead and close that here. Here we have meeting notes. And if we click on meeting notes, it kind of gives us a guide right here. So we can start taking notes. Notes you take are shared with others and are accessible before, during, and after the meeting. And so we'll turn that on. Go ahead and take some notes here. And while that's coming up here, we'll go ahead and take a look at some more actions here. And once this meeting concludes, we'll take a look and see the report that it provides for us after we finish the meeting here. So here is our notes that we have here. So we can capture meeting objectives, important notes, or action items. I'll go back to my window here. I'll go back to my more actions. And so from here, the other things that we can do is we can turn on the transcription service if we want to. We can start recording this meeting if we want to. And there's various modes that we can use for viewing purposes. We have the large gallery option. We have the together mode option here as well. Okay. So let's talk about one of the things we like to do is actually raise our hand in the meeting. So we can actually raise our hand right here. Okay, we can either lower it or raise it. So notice I get the notification here that Mo Jones has raised his hand. Okay. And so remember, we have that shortcut that we learned in the beginning, Control-Shift-K. So Control-Shift-K is going to toggle. There, I lowered my hand. Control-Shift-K, I'm able to raise my hand again. I'll go ahead and lower that right now. Very good. And so from here, we can show the conversation. So here is our dialogue. Currently, it's telling us that meeting notes are being recorded here. We can type our message in the chat. And of course, we have the more format options here for our chat as well. Okay. We can drop in some stickers and various other options in here. So a lot of options here to be able to communicate via the chat. Go ahead and lower that here. So let's talk about some things that we can present here. I'm going to go ahead and just collapse this right pane. And I want to go ahead and share content. Notice the shortcut key there is Control-Shift+E. And late last year, Microsoft made some changes to this interface here. We have various presenter modes. The default mode is the content only. And then if our camera is on, we have these different modes here as well that we can use. Gives us a little pictorial view. This is where your image will show up on the bottom right of the screen here for this one. The other option was kind of side by side. And this is kind of like your newscast here as well. So we can do that. And so at this point, we can choose to share our entire screen. We can go ahead and capture it. I have two monitors here, so I can share either monitor. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and share a window. So I'll go ahead and have 8 windows open here. And I think what I'll share is that Microsoft. I'll go ahead and open up Microsoft Edge here. And so it brings me right here to the meeting options here, one that we used earlier here, just kind of sharing this information here as well. So we do have our toolbar that kind of shows up here at the top. And so we can change our view here as long as our camera is turned on. We can go ahead and do that. We can give control. If someone else is in the meeting, we can assign control to someone. I can also go ahead and pin this menu so that it shows here. It does not disappear from me. Notice it goes away. But from right here, I can make some changes and stop presenting as well. On the bottom right, we do see the option here. We can either stop sharing by clicking on the X right here. We can go ahead and end the call. We can turn on our microphone or turn on our video, or we can just go ahead and click right here to go back to the call screen. I know it can be a little confusing sometimes, but we can go right back to the call screen. So here's our call screen. Notice that we're still sharing. I can go ahead and click on the X button or Control-Shift-E to stop my sharing here as well. So I'm no longer sharing here. And let's go ahead and let's see what else we can share here. Let's go back under Share Content. And I want to share the whiteboard, Microsoft Whiteboard. And these are becoming very, very popular, and various apps are offering whiteboard options here as well. They tend to call them different things, but they all pretty much do the same thing. It allows a collaborative space for yourself and your attendees to mark up an item together. And so here's our whiteboard. As we can see, let's take a look at the settings here on the top right. So when we finish with our whiteboard, we can always export it as an image. We can toggle the option for enhance ink shapes. So when we start drawing, it will actually try to correct it and make the lines finer for us and the curves. Just give it a better visual appeal. We can toggle the option to have others be able to edit the document as well. Okay. And so we can do that at this point. We can go ahead and just make sure that everyone can see our document here. And so if I click on the pen, I can just start scribbling here, like so. We have this red pen here, which provides some arrows, kind of document things for us. We have this other type of pen, has some more glittery color options there for us. Notice how it's just kind of changing the shapes for me as I type them. And we have a highlighter, so we can highlight things, so it goes over. And then we have our eraser here that we can use. Some popular features to use. So here are our pen tools. We can actually create. So I can actually collapse this menu if I want to. And I can go ahead and collapse everything just like that. So here's my select tool, which is what I'm currently using here. Here's my inking. I can close that. But if I want to get creative, I can drop in some notes on here if I want to. I can drop in some shapes. I can drop in text. I can also right click on the canvas and I can insert a new note. I can insert text, or I can paste something right into the canvas here as well. Okay. Now, there are some other options here, such as templates, which are pretty popular here. I'll save that for last here. I'll drop in a note. Different types of notes here. So we have notes and we have note grids that we can use. So I'll go ahead and drop in my note right here. And I can just go ahead and maybe provide some instructions here. Maybe I can say caption a pic. And we can also go ahead and apply some emojis to this. Maybe someone likes this here as well. So that's notes. We can drop in text as well. So here is our text box. So we can just say type here. Okay. We can go ahead and change the colors here if we want to. All right. And we can move all of these objects around. So we can, if you want them to show behind another object, we can do that. Or if we want them to show in front, we can do that here as well. I'll insert a shape here, insert an arrow, draw my arrow here. So here's my arrow. Once I have it there, I can grab one of the handles here and rotate it as well. And I can go ahead and move it all together here, like so. Move everything kind of in unison here, if we see this. Okay. So at this point, I can just go ahead and delete these items here. Remove them from my canvas. And maybe I'll go ahead and insert a template. So we have various templates here, from brainstorming all the way down to learning. Maybe I'll drop in a brainstorming template here. And here we have various brainstorming templates. Maybe I'll do this topic brainstorm here. And we can just go ahead and drop it right on our canvas. We can resize it if you want to. We can move it around. And so we can use a lot of this whiteboard space here. Okay. We can zoom in. We do have a zoom option right here. We can also hold down the control key and scroll up, and that will zoom in for us. Hold down the control key and scroll down, and that will zoom out. So it's just a matter of getting that right feel that you want here. So when we're finished with our whiteboard, we can always just click on the settings menu here. We can export this as an image. We can choose a standard resolution or a high resolution. It's just a matter of exporting that here. And so we can export that, save it to our desktop, and we're good to go. So at this point, I can go ahead and click on, and that will go ahead and close out my whiteboard for me. So at this point, what I can do, I can just go ahead and end the meeting by clicking on the drop down here. I can just leave the meeting, or I can end the meeting for all. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting for everyone here. And so let me go back to my, okay. So here we go. And if we go back to our posts here, we can see that it has actually recorded our meeting for us in different ways. So we have the notes that we can show. We can download the attendance report right here. So if I download the attendance report, I can go ahead and save that to my desktop as well. And as soon as it downloads, let's see, go ahead and grab that and bring that over to the screen. Okay, and so here, we'll go ahead and auto fit all these columns here. Okay, so it gives us a lot of information here. As you can see, I was the only one that attended. Nobody else showed up. Hey. So there we go. All right. And so really cool. Just the nature of the channel is going to provide these things here for you as well. So go ahead and launch a meeting from your channel. And if you're able to have a few of your attendees join your call so you can take a look at some of the other options there as well. But go ahead and take a look at those meeting options and come right back. Welcome back. Well, now that we took a look at some of the in-meeting controls, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the notable settings here inside of Microsoft Teams. I'm going to go ahead and click on the settings menu right next to my avatar here, or my profile rather. So I'll click on here and I'll go into my settings. And the first thing you notice, you can actually go ahead and change the theme. So the default theme is what I'm currently using here. You can get a preview of the theme by clicking on the dark theme here, or the high contrast theme here as well. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on the default. A new feature that was added recently is you can change the actual chat density. So you have this compacted view. The default view is comfy, where your chats have kind of spread out. If you want a more compact view, you can change the view and it will compact those into lines for you here as well. Another important feature is the read receipts. So you'll notice when read receipts are turned on by default, and read receipts are it basically indicates or notifies you when someone views or reads your message. You'll notice a small eyeball, or you'll see another type of confirmation there as well. So the person needs to have read receipts turned on in order for you to be notified if they read or viewed your message or not. So if you want to turn this off, if you don't want other people to know whether or not you read their messages, you can just toggle this off and they will not be able to determine whether or not you read their messages here as well. So that is an option. Another option here is under the devices. Here is where we can go ahead and just basically go ahead and set up your devices. One thing I recommend is making a test call. Okay, a great way to go ahead and make sure that your audio and your video are working correctly. It will go through the full test for you and to make sure that everything is okay. So this is a viable option here as well. I do have a custom setup because right now my speakers are my computer speakers and my microphone is actually my webcam here as well. If I wanted to change these, I could change them. And I can change my microphone here as well. I'll actually change my microphone to my blue snowball here. And then we have some other options here for noise suppression. So we have a few levels here, auto. So Teams is basically cutting out the background noise for you. Anything that is not speech, it's trying to take care of that for you. You can turn it off if you have a really nice microphone and you're in a very quiet area. And you can put this on low if you feel confident. High is going to try to basically block out everything. But keep in mind that does not work if live captions are running during a meeting or if the meeting is being recorded. So these will not work. You also need to have a special kind of processor. And as of today, Mac users will not have the capability to use the high noise suppression here as well. Another option that we have is for the files. If you'll notice, when you open Excel, Word, or PowerPoint files, they open in Teams. You can change this to open in your desktop app, or you can have them open in your browser as well. So those are just a few examples here of some pretty nice features that you may want to take a look at here as well. Another thing to mention is that once you are inside of your channel here, what we can do, if we take a look on the top right next to our meeting icon, we have some more options here. And one of the options that are available is to actually go ahead and open this channel in SharePoint. We did talk about SharePoint, but if you wanted to see what it looks like here, remember, every time you create a team or a channel, it creates a SharePoint space. So if we click on Open in SharePoint, this is what it looks like here. I'll make this a little bigger so we can see. Okay, so we only have one document kind of living here now, which is that document I shared earlier as well. Another thing that we can do is we do have people calling in via a phone when they're connecting to our meeting. And so if you want those people to basically bypass the lobby, they're just calling in. It's kind of difficult for them to wait for someone to let them in. We can toggle these options here. So maybe I can say people in my organization. And now I can allow people who are calling in via phone to the meeting, as long as that feature is available for your admin, for the number to actually show up in the meeting description or the meeting details, we can allow them to come right through here as well. So those are just a few options here that we can take a look at. And one thing I like to do before we wrap up here is I like to take a look at what's new. So on the bottom left here, we have this help button. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I want to see what updates have rolled out. So I'll click on my help menu here and I'll click on what's new. And as you can see here in February, we had a few changes here. So now we can pin a message in the chat. So we can pin it all the way to the top of our chat, regardless of the number of messages that are in there. We can do that. Pretty useful. And again, we can change how many messages we see at one time. So again, we can change the spacing of the chat messages in Teams. And here we were talking about the comfy mode that we saw available here in our settings menu. So here's comfy and here's compact. And this is what it's referring to. If you like to see more spacing, you can change that. We have the turn off mirror my video. This option is now available. So you now have the option to stop mirroring the image of your video preview, which is very helpful here as well. So these are some new features that are available. We can go back a little more, but they're constantly making updates to this product. And it's good just to be able to take a look and see what is new. So go ahead and take a look around, take a look at those settings, and come right back and we will wrap up. Welcome back and congratulations on completing our Microsoft Teams Deep Dive course. We were able to set up public and private teams with integrations to use Office 365 tools such as SharePoint, Planner, and OneNote. We were able to view the SharePoint site as well that houses our channel. We're able to schedule a Teams meeting and adjust meeting options before the meeting takes place and also in meeting options as well, such as determining who can bypass the lobby and who can present. We're able to effectively collaborate in a channel-based workspace as opposed to an Outlook inbox. And hopefully you're enjoying Microsoft Teams as a one-stop shop for all of your communication and collaboration. Once again, congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you in a future Learnit tutorial.